Hey guys, it's Apurva. In this video, we're gonna take a look at Unity's UI system and create a score system for our game. Pretty exciting stuff. So let's get into it. Hey guys, it's Apurva. I just wanna quickly say that if you enjoy this kind of content and want to learn more about game development, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell to get notified when I upload a new video. In our last video, we made a level, add some gameplay elements to our game, and we kinda designed this short level. Now, the first thing I want to change here is the camera's background. As you can see on the game view, the camera has a bluish background and it's kinda boring and not exciting and doesn't fit with our game at all. So, what I'm going to do is select our main camera, and under the camera component you can see there's a option called background and it's set to blue. Now I'm going to click on that and change the color to a grayish color. And now that's out of the way, let's take a look at Unity's UI system. So in the hierarchy, I'm going to right click and under UI I'm going to select text. Now you can see there's another option here called Text Mesh Pro. Text Mesh Pro is a text component, but it has more functionality, you can say, more features. It has more features is the right word for it. But as a beginner, you don't need to worry about all of this stuff. So for now, I'm just going to select the text component here. And as soon as I select the text component, you will see that it created two other systems or objects with it. One is canvas and other one is event system. So event system is basically what it says. It takes care of the UIs, the backend stuffs of the UI, it takes care of that. And the canvas is for showing any kind of UI object. If I just zoom out here a little bit, you will see a white line and that is the canvas. If I just scale the game view, you can see it scales with the game view, and without the canvas you cannot see any kind of UI element. So if I just take the text component and unparent it, you can see that the text is there. I mean, I can select it and select it, but it's not showing because it's not under the canvas. So any kind of UI object must have a canvas as their parent. So now I'm just going to select the text component and let's take it to the top here and make it a little bit bigger. I can also press down Alt and resize this from the center, but as you can see, it doesn't change the text size, it just changes the boundaries. So in order to change the text or font size, you need to go here and type out the size. So maybe 20, and I'm going to align it to the middle in both axes. 30 looks fine for me right now. And right now you can see that the text is not that much visible on the background because the background is a grayish and the text is black, so it quite doesn't go together well. So what I'm going to do is change the text color to white and it's much better now. And one thing I want to change here is right now the canvas is selected to scale with constant pixel size. So it means the canvas is freeform, so it's gonna take the shape of our game view or monitor's resolution. There are a couple of problems with this type of canvas. First of all, I might design this canvas for my monitor, but in your monitor the canvas or the UI might look a lot different because your resolution might be a different resolution than mine. It doesn't work that well. So what I'm going to do, under the canvas scaler, I'm just going to change UI scale mode to scale with screen size. So it's gonna scale with screen size, and I'm going to reference resolution 1920 by 1080. And I'm just also going to take the slider to match the height because I want my text to always match the monitor's height because I want the text to be at the top. Take a note here that if you want to match both width and height, meaning it's gonna match the height and width with the same amount, make sure to set that to 0.5, so right in the middle, so it's going to take effect in the both sides. Now since I changed the resolution or UI scale mode, you can see that the text is a lot smaller right now. So the easiest way to fix this is just change the text size to something bigger, like 70 in my case, and I'm just going to change the text or default text to a number, so I know how it looks in the game. I'm also going to change the horizontal overflow to overflow, because in certain cases the player reaches a very high number, the text is just going to continue, so outside the boundaries the text doesn't going to be like in a weird shape. But I don't think someone's going to be that far, but it's there if someone goes that far. So right now I'm in my scripts folder. I'm just going to create a new script called core UI, and I'm also going to rename my text to score text. You always want to rename your objects accordingly, because in a bigger projects it might get a lot claustrophobic. So what I'm going to do right now is drag and drop the score UI to score text and open the script in Visual Studio. So the way we are going to check for score is measuring the distance the player goes. It's not the most efficient way to check for a score, because in our case the game is not infinite. If the game was infinite, meaning the game procedurally generated levels, so the player can go for an infinite amount of time, then that was fine for checking the distance as a score. That would be fine. But in our case we design the level, so no matter how we try, the level is going to be same distance every time. So it's not the most efficient way to check for score, but as a beginner I'm just showing you how to implement these things in your game, how to implement something like a UI in your game, how to hook up something like an UI text to an object or to something. So keep in mind that this is not the most efficient way. I'm just putting it out there. The way we are going to check for score, as I said before, is measuring the distance the player goes. So right now the player is moving on the x-axis, so we're gonna keep track of the x-axis on how much distance the player goes on the x-axis, and we're going to print that number in our UI. So we already know what gives the player's position, and that is the transform component. So what I'm going to do is type public transform player. So there's the reference to our player, and in the update method what we can do for checking the player's x position is type player.position.x. so it's gonna give us the player's x position, and since it's on the update method, it's gonna update every time the player moves. And I'm just going to, for right now, I'm just going to put that in a debug.log function so that we can see it in the console. So if I just run the game, as you can see in the bottom corner, bottom left corner here, the x value is printing. So if I just stop playing the game and go back to console, you can see it printed the x value, but this is not updating the UI text here. So the next thing we're going to do is hook that up. So what I'm going to do is type public, and the component we're trying to access is a text, so I'm going to type text. But you can see on the Visual Studio suggested tab there is no text component here, and that's because in Unity UI related is on another namespace. Currently we are not using that namespace, and a text is definitely an UI. So what I'm going to do is go up here and up here using Unity engine.ui, and you can see it auto completed for me. And now if I type text here, you can see there's a text component here. So I'm going to type public text score text. I know, very creative name. And I'm just going to clear the debug.log function and set the score text dot, and now I can access everything and change everything through code. So if I just type score text.color, I can access the color. I can also access the font size, but the thing we want to access is text. I know it's a bit weird because we are referencing the text, and then in the text component we are accessing the text component. It's kind of weird for a beginner, but it is what it is. So I'm going to type score text.text is equal to player.position.x, and it's gonna give us an error because player.position.x is a float, but code.text.text is a string. So essentially what we are trying to do here is setting a string is equal to a float, and that quite doesn't work together like that, because string is a string and float is a number. So the computer doesn't know how to convert a string to float or float to string. So what we are going to do, after x just type dot to string and open and close parentheses. What it does is takes the float and wrap a string around it. So this is still a float, but for this score.text component it's a string. I know it's a bit confusing. I might not be able to explain it to you a lot better, but just type after me and by experience you will understand this more. And now in the score text, if I just reference the text component here and play the game, hooray, you can see the text is updating, but it's updating with a very precise float number. Because we don't need that much precision in our score text, we can just work with a whole number here. So after the decimal places we don't need anything. So it's a very simple workout. In the two string parentheses, open and close quotation mark, and in quotation mark type 0. So that will solve the decimal places problem. And if I now just play the game, now you can see that the score text updates and it's whole number. So yeah, that's the end of the tutorial. If you enjoy this video, make sure to give it a like, and yeah, I'll see you in the next video.